Hi everyone, welcome. Today we are in conversation with Dr. Smita Girija, Professor of Marketing and the Director at Soil School of Business Design. Professor Girija's primary expertise is marketing and innovation, and her research areas include customer engagement, frugal innovation, and retail management. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Ishani.
Ma'am, so you've had so many wonderful career highlights. Could you share a few of those with us to start off?
Okay. So, Ishani, let me start from what we are today. I'm today now, and I'll go backward. So, I'm basically a professor of marketing and strategy, and I have around 19 years of experience. Along with teaching, I have also, have worked as academic administrator. So currently, I am the director of Soil School of Business Design. Also, my passion is towards research, and I work on different areas. I mean, there's a phase. I mean, maybe now this is what I interest me. Then I'll be working on that area. Even something new comes up, and if I get a good mentor to guide me, then we will work on that areas also. So currently, my research areas, what I would really like to know more about is frugal innovation, that too, of India. So that's what I'm working on.
Yes. So, ma'am, you're the director of the Soil 2-year PGDM in business design. Could you explain what exactly is business design or design thinking?
Okay, so I will just try to explain that in few sentences, though it's a huge, big framework. So design thinking is actually an iterative problem solving technique, which, helps company to come out with some solutions. So, companies like Apple, Airbnb, Pepsi, Nike, they have all embraced this process for various purposes. They rekindle your creativity, you will be able to communicate effectively. So this is actually a process which most of the companies are using it for their various activities. Now, there are different phases for design thinking. There are different stages, they call it. That's what we do it in Soil School of Business Design. But what the customer is the core when we talk about design thinking, and we develop the entire process or the new product in such a way that what makes a customer to buy it. So it's a journey which we study in design thinking. So that is in a very brief format, but then yeah, it's actually we'll not be able to explain in this short interaction. But that's a very brief insight on what design thinking is, and that's what we do in Soil School of Business Design over 2 years.
Right. Yeah, I think it's very important because it's a way to problem solve and while keeping the consumer at the center. And I think any MBA, no matter what specialization they take, I think that's a very critical skill for them to learn.
Exactly. So the earlier what we used to do, we assume that this is what a customer need, and we used to design a products accordingly. But this process actually empathize and then take you through a journey fine before launching the product. That's what the difference between the traditional process and what we do in design thinking.
Wonderful. The Soil 2-year PGDM program is relatively new, but with the backing of the rich heritage of the 11 transformative years of Soil Institute of Management. So in this program, how do you straddle both the legacy of soil and its unique philosophy while ensuring cutting-edge, relevant curriculum to suit the needs of MBA 2.0?
Pillars of soil, that is something which the new school, that Soil School of Business Design, also, follow in letter and spirit. That is actually the main guiding force. But keeping that in mind, we have actually tried to experiment our 2-year program by, bringing in design thinking in at the center, and also adding in elements of liberal arts into our curriculum. So we strongly believe in the fact that the students will have to get that so the creativity cannot happen just like that. You will have to make sure that there will be different points where students will get exposed to how you can think openly, how you can think differently. That's when this liberal arts or this how you can how we can, whether we are able to understand the feeling of others, how, you learn about culture, society, your arts, heritage, culture, heritage, etc. That's when we bring in liberal arts into our curriculum. So it's a blend of liberal arts, design thinking, management, and we offer a lot of experiential learning opportunities. See, design itself is more experiential than a classroom interaction. So there are design studios, we have labs, we have a lot of visiting industries, talking to people. A lot of experiential activities are included in the program. So that's how we try to be different while keeping our soil pillars in mind.
Right. So this is actually a very unique and relevant program with so many nuanced aspects being taught to the students. And you also mentioned experiential learning. So could you expand on that a little bit?
Yes. So like a profession of a doctor or a lawyer, it's more experiential. You'll have to actually do a lot of practicals, and then you will learn. So but traditional business schools, it was focusing more on the classroom theories and the other aspects, whereas we realized at soil, not only it is with 2-year program, but we realized at soil that a lot of learning happens outside the classroom. And when we say outside the classroom, for example, I'm just giving an example. We have a full credit course on yoga and wellness. So this always happen outside the classroom, and then we have a credit course on. So we go on a Himalayan retreat, for meditation and and also the softer aspects of working with an NGO and things like that. We include that also as an experiential learning. So we have design studios, we have design labs here. So that is another way of getting students into that, getting into that hands-on experience and learn from that. So then we have an international immersion program, where it's not a classroom session, but it's a cultural immersion rather, and also to learn more about the industries of that country. So this is some of the there is a Discover India journey. That's like we will be. So due to COVID, this year we have delayed it, but then the idea behind that journey is to know India well.
Right.
You travel by train through the length and breadth of India, interact with different culture, different people, and learn from them. This is a lot of we have almost 70 to 80 hours of roughly around 100 hours of experiential learning course in first year, and almost 50 hours of experiential learning in the second year. So we give a lot of importance to the experiential learning more activities in the curriculum.
Wonderful. That sounds amazing. Ma'am, what is your big goal or the long-term vision for the program?
Okay, so actually, see, if we look at the job market, your recruiters, so they have some specific requirements, and you actually whether it is as a design thinking school or anything, students apply for a common job, and they get recruited there. But in long term, we would like to actually get our students exposed to this concept of design thinking. And for example, I'm giving an example. KPMG, they have a very specialized department of design thinking, and there are around 20 odd people working in that department. So we would like to actually see that more companies will have departments like this, and we will get our students working in that that organization, and this designing as a concept will be used extensively by more company. So long-term goal is to actually spread this awareness of design thinking. Even so almost the top most companies are following it, but how can we actually work with the industry and learn from them, and also we can also share our resources and our students to take this concept forward. That will be our, and also at soil, I mentioned about our legacy of soil. There are some strong pillars.
Yeah.
Not only as a profession, the students who are coming out of this institute will not be only a hardcore professional. Along with that, they'll be good citizens also. So this will be our long-term goal, but primarily it is to work with industry and learn more from them on design thinking and how we can actually help them to take it to the next level.
That's absolutely inspiring, and I think we're all working towards that together. So that's really wonderful. Ma'am, you're currently handling multiple roles with academics, admissions, handling administration, placements, etc. So, what's your favorite part of your job?
Okay, I mean, without any doubt, I say that it is teaching, and when we interact with students, that's when you feel that okay, you are also see when I interact with students or when I go to a class, it is more like learning from them because I handle courses like innovation management or strategic management or in marketing I'm going to do consumer behavior. So these are some of the areas which I deal with, and what we do is that our students are much more advanced than what we are. So I mean, learning from them is definitely which I enjoy, and it's more than me downloading everything. We would like to co-create that class in such a way that they will also benefit from whatever whatever work I have done, and I will also learn from them in whatever new new stories they bring to the class. So definitely teaching is my first priority, and I have to add here that no, research and teaching go hand in hand. The reason being, when I go deep dive, when I deep dive into a topic for research, actually, that I bring back to the class. That's where I feel that, if I'm planning to start a new course, before planning starting that new course, I will have to do a thorough research. If I can, come up with some publications, some papers, that's when I feel that no, I have also gained some knowledge to start that course, and I think students will also be benefiting out of it. So it's like teaching always is my first love.
That's wonderful, ma'am. In fact, I've interacted with so many of the PGDM students, and they've always had amazing experiences with you and in the classes. So I'm sure that that's going to be a wonderful experience.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
And and ma'am, you mentioned about research. So can you share with us a little bit about your field and what kind of research work you've done there?
So when I started, it was all marketing. So I have worked with a few of my professors. So during my PhD time, it is my guide, and that is a time when we worked on consumer behavior as my focus area. And I think that happened almost till I mean. So early, when you start your career early, you'll have to. It's like by force you have to publish, and you have to finish your PhD and things like that, and your guide used to have, guide you that no, this is how you have to publish. That was a learning stage. But actually I feel my research work, interest in research started when I met this wonderful professors. In fact, Professor Jagdish Seth is my mentor, and that's when we thought, okay, there is something which is happening out in rural India, and whether they are getting enough notice. Are we recognizing the small innovations happening in those areas? That's called frugal innovation, and can big businesses learn from that? So a lot of thought has gone into that, and now currently I'm working on this area of frugal innovation. So this COVID times have actually pushed me to think of why don't we look at, so in India, there were ventilators have been, manufacturers have come up just like that. Within no time they have come up with ventilators, PPE kits, and mask is something, okay, homemade masks also are available. But then a lot of this small innovations have come up, and people, they were ready with the products. you know there is a sort of innovation which happened there, how to come up with this product. So currently I am working in a study which involves all this, how people responded to COVID-19 with this medical equipments. That's one research which is happening. The another one which I'm currently working on is on customer satisfaction. We are working on customer satisfaction index while using the food delivery apps. So these are two current research which is happening. One again in design thinking, on customer journey map. So that's something like for um, better customer experience, and using the concept of design thinking to develop something. So this is some of the research which is currently going on.
Ma'am, I've read a bit of your work on frugal innovation, and it was a big learning experience for me also, because it just makes you think in a different way. So yeah, it's very interesting, and I hope to read more about your work. Ma'am, there's a lot of debate going on currently about whether doing an MBA is now even relevant or not. So what are your views on that?
2 years from now, the nature of job is changing. So there was this article on Future of Work which talks about 3 important changes which is going to happen, or which will happen. The first one is work itself. The second one is the workplace, and the third one is the workforce. So there are 3 important points which are going to change. And it's so, and this is an article which which is published years back, but now it has happened during COVID times. It has happened because the nature of work is very, very different. Workforce, people are not interested in full-time work. They would like to do a contract work because it is gig economy. I mean, you get a lot of contract workers. You would like to get part-time workers. So workforce is changing, and also the workplace. People are working from home. There is no need of a physical office. So when all these things are changing, the conventional knowledge of what work is also changing. So unless you are going to get yourself updated with all this new required knowledge and skills, I think you're going to get outdated in next 2-3 years. So I feel this is the right time to get yourself updated. And whether it is MBA or any other course, I'm not very specific to MBA, but to get yourself updated and face the challenges of future, I think this is the right.
Right.
I mean, this is just personal view, Ishani.
Sure, ma'am. No, I think that view is, I mean, a lot of people agree with that view as well. So yeah, it's good to hear that. And ma'am, finally, just could you share some, according to you, what are the important skills or abilities the new MBAs must carry into the workforce now that so much has changed with the pandemic?
So when we talk about digital transformation, a lot of changes are happening in the digital space. So one should be, I will not call it as a skill, that is a mandatory requirement, I mean, for anybody who is going to take up any job in the future. That is, I should be able to work with any technology, whether it is, maybe to do with, let's say, see, now they say that they have simulations, for example, engineering colleges, instead of lab, they're using simulations to work with, so I should be well versed in such a way that I can adjust to any sort of situations. So your skills to handle any technology is what is going to be the key for next 2-3 years. Even IT, people are working from home till whatever time. Most of the companies, they have made this flexible option that way you can choose to work from home. So I think that is the first and foremost skill, that is working with technology. Second one, working with numbers, because data analysis, analytics is going to be because when many people start working from home, you're generating a lot of digital data. So can we handle that much of that volume of data? So I think somebody who can actually handle numbers well, and that too analytics part. So then handling people is the third point. The reason being, people who are in a physical space, you can meet people, you can talk and things like that. When in a virtual world, how to handle people, how your relationship with virtually is also going to be a very, very important aspect. I rate these 3 as the most important skill. Of course, creativity is something which you have to apply anywhere. So I'll say these are some of the important skills which any employer will look forward in future.
Wonderful. Thank you for the insights, ma'am, and thank you for this lovely conversation.
Thank you, Ishani. I also enjoyed